we go directly into the design part. First, it's 2-bit asynchronous counter. 2-bit asynchronous counter. Okay, the first thing what we need to understand is it's asynchronous, so we need to, there is not much to consider when we go for the design part. That's why I drew already. I have drawn the figure. Okay, that is what we need to do is we draw. What I did is we have a JK flip flop. That's the first flip flop. 1 second. Yeah, this is FF0 and FF1. Okay, you can mark it as FF1 and FF2 also, no issues. But if your marking is as FF0, mark J0 and K0, Q0 and Q0 bar. If you are marking as FF1, J1, K1, Q1, Q1 bar. Okay, that will be easy. And we have a clock signal, we have given the clock signal, and in the case of asynchronous counters, we take the negation part or the Q0 bar or the Q bar output is taken and is fed as the clock to the next case. Okay, and for the time being, this particular case has not much significance, but it is to show you that initially what we call the it's similar to the toggle condition. Okay, so what we are going to do is we have given a high to both J and K, okay, in both the cases, but the operation part, for drawing these cases this is enough, but the operation part is what I am going to explain. Okay, the first thing I would like to share with you is just see. Okay, this is Q0 and this is Q0 bar. What we are going to, our intention is to go for the creation of a 2-bit asynchronous counter. 2-bit asynchronous counter means we need to count 0, 1, 2, 3 likewise. Clear? We are going to make an asynchronous counter, so we need to count that numbers by seeing the output. Okay, so how can we do that? The first thing what we need to understand is this is the LSD. LSD means, say for example, we have two numbers 1010. We have a number 101 101. This is the LSD and this is the MSB. Sorry, this is the LSB, least significant bit. This is the most significant bit. Okay, so we need to understand that the first flip flop is the LSB. Okay, the value stored in for the first flip flop will be the LSB, least significant, and this will be the MSB. Okay, in this case, what we do is we will have only two outputs, that is one is Q0 and Q1. Okay, that is clock pulse will be given to the least significant flip flop. Okay, and the most significant flip flop will be this. Clear? But here it is Q0 and here it is Q1, but we write in order for us to understand, I have written Q0 and Q1. Okay, in the way that we write our series, that is 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. This is a series, right? This is 1, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. We need to create such a counter. Clear? Okay. Our first step is, initially we have set both the clock pulse is initially given, not given, so what we do is we have set both the values as 0, which is equal to this condition. Okay, and the other thing we need to keep in mind is when it works only on the positive going edge of the clock. So when a particular value if for example say this is a positive edge and the positive edge reaches this particular case, Q0 which holds previously Q0 which holds a value should be changed. That is, when a 1 value reaches, we can study like that. When a 1 value reaches C, we say that what was already there, that should be reversed. Clear? And okay, I will go for the example that will be clear to you. Okay, first we give clock pulse 1. We have 4 clock pulses here. First we give clock pulse 1. 1 don't get confused. Okay, I will use two white markers. When 1 reaches here, what is the value of q? That is positive edge, during the positive edge of the clock pulse, first clock pulse. In q0 was initially 0, right? It was 0. Okay. Change, that is before applying the clock pulse, we have set both the cases as 0. But when c is 1, that is first clock pulse, positive edge, which was q0, that is the LSB, which was initially 0, will change to 1. So we mark q0 as 1. Okay. When this is 1, q0 bar will be 0. q0 bar, that 0 value will go to next flip flop, but only high on the, that is positive edge, only makes effect or change in the q0 output. That is, when q0 bar is 0, when it reaches this particular case, this is positive edge triggering, there is no bubble. This shows that this is q0 bar output. Okay, it doesn't mean that it's negative edge triggering. It's positive edge triggering. There is no bubble here. So when 0 reaches here, there will be no effect on flip flop 1. So we will retain the value of q1 as 0, because initially it was set as 0, but when 0 reaches clock pulse, there will be no effect on the flip flop. So q1 will be 0 itself. Consider that next clock pulse. Consider the next clock pulse. Clock pulse 2. Sorry. Clock pulse 2. Okay. When clock pulse 2 reaches, that is next clock pulse means, what is the value of q0 here? What is the value of q0? It is 0, right? Previously it was, sorry. In the case of, I also made a mistake. Okay, q0, the value is 1. q0, the value is 1, right? So what it means is, when during the positive edge of the next clock pulse, which is applied to flip flop ff0, what happens is, the one value in q0 will be changed to 0. The one value which was the q0 value, which is previously 1, will change to 0. And then q0 bar means it will be 1. This 1 will propagate to next flip flop. So here we get a 1, which means that output q1 should change, because 1 reached here. Okay, that is positive edge triggering to flip flop 1. So what we do is change. What was the previous value of q0? q1, it was 1, sorry, it was 0. So that will, as 1 reached here, it becomes 1. 0 will change to 1. Clear? Next one, edge 3 or the clock pulse 3. Remove all these cases. Okay. During clock pulse 3, what happens? What is the current value of q0? It was 0. Next clock pulse means positive edge to this particular case means, what we do is, we change the value of 0 as 1. Okay. When 1 reaches here, what will be the value of q? But if q0 is 1, then what will be the value of q0 bar? It will be 0. 0 will be propagated to this case as clock. 0 has no effect on flip flop 1. So we retain the value of q1, that is 1. Clear? So it's already almost clear that we have 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1. We go for the next case. 1 second. Yeah. We'll go for the next case. That is, we have the next clock pulse. If there was, we have the fourth clock pulse. Fourth clock pulse means, fourth clock pulse we have given. So, what is the value of q0? During fourth clock pulse means, it's positive, so Q0 becomes 0. When the value of Q0 is 0, Q0 bar will be obviously 1. That is, this is 0, this is 1, and 1 is propagated to as clock to flip flop 1. So it should be, it's positive, it's triggered. So Q1, which hold the value 1, should change to 0. From there onwards, the pattern will be repeated. So we will write here recycles. Clear? This is how we go for the design of asynchronous counter. Okay, understand that this is FF0 and FF1, and we write here FF0, FF1. Likewise we write. Okay, please go through. We also have, based on this, we also have a waveform. For the time being, please go through. Okay. This is the timing diagram. It's very easy to construct this. Okay, we already got that particular truth table. Based on that, I have constructed this. Okay, so this is the clock pulse. 4 clock pulses are given, marked it as CLK clock, and for after each clock pulse, I have drawn with a red mark. This is a division is there, and what I have shown here is during we have the LSB and the M, that is Q0 and Q1, and the value of initial value is not shown here. This is the initial value, and this was the next value during the first clock pulse means. So this is high. Q0 is high state. Okay, and the next Q1 is low state, so it's low. Okay, low state. And next case, Q0 goes low, but at the same time, but Q1 was high. Okay, high. Next is 1 1, which means here from 0, Q0 becomes 1 again, high again, but this is maintained as 1, so we need to continue as 1 itself. Okay, and the next case it's 0 0, so this will be 0, and this will also be 0. Clear? Okay, 0 0 0 1 1 0 1 1, and Q0 bar means just the reverse of what we have obtained in the case of Q0. Please, this is a time diagram.